Okay, so hello everyone. On behalf of SOS Electronic, I would like to welcome you to another masterclass. Our today's special guest is Lantronix, and our experts will walk you through the essentials of building resilient and secure network connectivity. Also, talk about some tips and new information which will be useful when deciding which part to buy. As always, the session will be recorded, so the recording will be available after the webinar itself, so anyone can view it. It will be on our website. The first part of the webinar will be the presentation from Fadil, and in the second part, we will move on to the Q&A. So I will enable the chat and anyone will be free to leave a question, which will be answered right away here during the webinar. In case some questions will pop up later on, it will be more than welcomed to send them to us or Lantronix directly. So thank you everyone for joining, and I'm handing over the word to Fadil. So welcome Fadil again, and please you can start your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, and welcome everyone, and thanks for joining today's webinar. My name is Fadil Beqiri. I am the field application engineer at Lantronix for over 6 years. So I'm excited to walk you through how to build a reliable and secure network connectivity using Lantronix xPico 200 and XPort EDGE modules. So in this presentation, here is what we will cover in the next 40-45 minutes. So we will start with a quick overview about Lantronix, an overview of Wi-Fi and wired Ethernet modules, including where each makes the most sense in embedded and industrial designs. Then we will look at configuration and deployment best practice, way to ensure stability and reliability and secure from day one. So we will follow that with out-of-band management, and we'll share some real-world use cases from the data center to edge devices. Finally, we will wrap up with a Q&A session. So please drop your question in the chat as we go. Before we dive into the technology, let's take a moment to talk about Lantronix. Lantronix is a global leader in secure connectivity and management solution, with over 3 decades of experience in networking, enterprise, IoT, and embedded systems. The company is trusted by OEMs and enterprises around the world to connect, manage, and secure millions of devices, from factory automation systems to medical devices and transportation fleets. Lantronix portfolio combine hardware modules, software tools, and cloud services to enable seamless edge to cloud integration. Our mission is simple: to make connectivity smarter, safer, and more manageable, and to help engineers and developers bring reliable, connected products to market faster. So Lantronix focus its innovation around 3 high potential vertical markets, where secure and reliable connectivity is critical. First, enterprise connectivity. This includes data centers, IT infrastructure, and industrial automation, where Lantronix solution enables secure devices management and monitoring at scales. Second, smart cities. Lantronix technology supports intelligent infrastructure, connecting lights, environmental monitoring, traffic systems, and public safety networks. The goal here is to bring real-time visibility and control to city operations. And third is transportations. Everything from the fleet management to connected vehicles. This environments demand always on connectivity, remote management, and secure even under harsh conditions. Across all three, Lantronix brings a consistent value, secure, manageable, and scalable connectivity from the network edge to the cloud. This vertical focus ensures that technology we discussed today, like the xPico 200 and XPort EDGE, is field-proven and optimized for real-world applications. Let's start with a quick overview of these three Lantronix products families. The XPort EDGE is an Ethernet-only embedded gateway. Basically, a self-contained RG45 module that handles the full TCP stack, security and cloud connectivity. It is perfect when you just need a wired connection and minimal design efforts. The xPico 200 series, on the other hand, integrates Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and Bluetooth. This module is more flexible. It can operate as a wireless bridge, access point, or a network co-processor for your host MCU. Both run Lantronix gateway operating system and come pre-certified for FCC and CA compliance. So you save a lot of time on testing and approvals. This Wi-Fi 6 product is coming soon. So it is part of our next generation platform, currently in the final stage of deployment. While it is currently not available, early samples will be released early next year. So we just want to make sure you can transition smoothly to Wi-Fi 6 and with less effort to redesign your hardware. Now let's see the modules itself. So the XPort EDGE, as I said, is a compact Ethernet module and integrates an RG45 form factor, great for industrial automation and serial to Ethernet conversations, and ideal for systems that need secure IP connectivity. Everything you need is included in this tiny RG45 Ethernet connector package. Connect to any 8, 16, 32-bit microcontroller with a UART interface. It supports secure boot and signed firmware and includes a lot of features needed in industrial environments. It is industrial grade and designed for long-term reliability in harsh conditions. This slide shows the hardware and software key features. The footprint is compatible with the well-known XPort, and it offers an evaluation board with socket for XPort EDGE. It has all necessary approvals, and the serial port support baud rate up to 4 megabit per second. In terms of software features, it includes a built-in TCP IP stack and offers OEM branding and customization. The true socket serial technology feature emulates a direct serial connection over the network. It means your existing serial device that has RS-232, RS-485 can communicate as if it were locally connected, even though it is connected via Ethernet. The xPico 200 series combines Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth low energy technology in one small form factor, allowing redundancy and wireless operation where cabling is not possible. Typically, Ethernet is chosen for fixed installation, while Wi-Fi suits mobile and flexible setups. The key is to design with both reliability and manageability in mind. So the xPico 200 series is Lantronix flexible Wi-Fi and Ethernet module designed for embedded and industrial systems that need reliable security connectivity. It supports both wired and wireless networking with failover. So if the Ethernet link drops, communication continues seamlessly over Wi-Fi. Developers can use the built-in web server and command line interface for setup or integrate through APIs. Security is enterprise grade, including VPA3, TLS encryption, and FIPS validated cryptography, making it stronger for medical, industrial, and edge IoT devices. It also supports true port serial technology. This slide shows also, like xPico, like XPort EDGE, the hardware and software key features. The xPico 200 has a small form factor, and it also offers an evaluation board with socket for all xPico 200 modules. It has all necessary approvals, and the serial port supports baud rate up to 4 megabit per second. In terms of software features, it includes a built-in TCP stack and supports OEM branding and customization. Here you can see a diagram showing the xPico 200 connected to an MCU through various interfaces, as well as to an access point via Ethernet and Wi-Fi. The xPico 250 and 270 modules additionally support Bluetooth, both classic and BLE, enabling connection to a laptop via SPP or to sensors using BLE. When integrating these modules, stable power is key. Wi-Fi transmissions speeds can pull up to 600 milliamps. So use low equivalent series resistance capacitors close to the power supply. Keep a solid ground plane under the module and avoid routing noise digital lines near the antenna area. For the xPico, Ethernet use an RMII interface. Keep those differential pairs short, length matched and protected with magnetics and TVS diodes from voltage peaks. And don't forget the control pins like reset for hardware reset and default for restoring factory settings, which is useful in field maintenance. From a networking standpoint, these modules support both DHCP and static IP addresses. A good practice to try DHCP first and then fall back to a static configuration if no lease is obtained. You can automate configuration through the built-in web interface, CLI, or XML APIs. That's ideal for production setup scripts. Always review configuration changes before applying them. A misconfigured bridge or IP address could lock you out. Always export configuration as XML backups before deploying it. It is the quickest way to roll back changes if something goes wrong. Use TLS 1.2 or higher with proper certificate chains for cloud and server connections. Security is a strong suit for both platforms, but only if you use it properly. Always enable secure boot and signed firmware updates. This prevents unauthorized and corrupted firmware from loading. Use TLS 1.2 and higher for any cloud or remote communication. Assign unique credential or certificates per device. Avoid shared passwords. Add multiple users with different privilege levels and passwords. For example, here in the screenshot on the left, here is John, user has user privileges. And periodically rotate keys or certificates, especially for long life field application deployments. That small step can prevent major security incidents down the road. Finally, long-term maintenance. Provide local access for technicians, but role-based loggings to avoid security risk. Maintain remote connectivity and management of devices to eliminate the need for on-site technical visits. Lantronix also offer cloud management tools like Perception on the left, that let you monitor devices and push firmware updates remotely. Following this practice ensures your XPort EDGE and xPico 200-based system remain reliable, secure, and field maintainable for years. One important trend to be aware is also EU Cyber Resilience Act. So it is changing how manufacturers approach cybersecurity for connected devices. The CRA requires products to be secure by design, kept up to date with security patches, and to follow clear process for handling vulnerabilities. Adopting these principles early helps ensure EU market compliance, build customer trust, and make your products stand out to competitive projects and tenders. As we move towards the EU security rollouts, manufacturers need to ensure their connected devices are secured by design and maintainable over their life cycle. The good news is that Lantronix modules already incorporate many of these requirements. Both the xPico 200 and XPort EDGE are designed with secure boot, firmware signing, and end-to-end TLS encryption, ensuring that only trusted software runs on the devices. The latest firmware, released firmware, covers CRA compliance. In short, Lantronix gives our customers a strong head start on meeting future cybersecurity requirements while maintaining the performance and reliability industrial design demand. So the firmware that we released recently it is firmware 5.10, which includes this compliance. That's everything for today's session regarding the embedded modules. Now we will talk about out-of-band management, what it is, and so on. So I have put in this slide four different topics we are going to discuss today. In-band management or in-band management is the traditional model for network management with distributed gear and centralized management tools at the network operations center. The challenge is when there is an issue. Those centralized tools can't reach the gear it is supported to manage. For example, if the router experiences problems, the router side is cut off. The WAN is effectively down. Tools in the network operations center are useless. When we talk about out-of-band management, we are referring to a process of managing network activities that triggered by monitoring events, and then using automation, security, and other management tools to take the right actions. Out-of-band management can save support trips and speed resolution of issues, but is still reliant on human investigation and troubleshooting. Go beyond out-of-band is what Lantronix does. Decentralizing network management software by deploying it at the remote site in an intelligent console server. Utilizing the connection to the network infrastructure, Lantronix continuously monitors the gear over the console ports, not the network. Issues are discovered and verified in seconds, not minutes or hours, and automated recovery actions are initiated. An out-of-band link is created to backfill the network operation center tools with current information. Oh, sorry. So, and after all is done, the network is returned to operation. So, a little bit about the hardware we have for out-of-band application. So here is the Lantronix LM83 series, which has is modular, and it offers a lot of options. So it has by default an 8 RS32 serial ports only. It has a console port, USB-C or G45 for local access. It has also an USB accessory port if you want to put the firmware inside, to store the firmware inside the USB stick, for example, and load it into the device. It is also a dual power supply device, AC or DC. It has a primary Ethernet. As you can see here, everything is labeled on the interfaces. So the second Ethernet can be used for bounded failover, for out-of-band, to capture all the data, and also for traffic failover. It also supports an SFP slot, which can be used also for out-of-band or any other connections in the network. So on the top right, there is also an option slot for V92, for satellite modem, for an SFP as a fourth Ethernet interface, and also it provides LTE for failover. You can also extend this device with different modules. Since it is modular, you can also add another 8 serial port slot to it, or maybe extend with a density port, which is also well known by Cisco. So you can add up to 3 different slots to this device, and also make the device with up to 104 ports in total. It provides also a display slot where you can do the initial configuration, like IP address or the management IP address, and so on. So as you can see here from this density port, you can use this density cable and connect up to 100 serial connections. In addition to this device, we have also some other console servers with limited serial ports. So here you can see the LM80 with also the same options like the LM83X. And the latest or the new console port we already released this year is LM4. This is with a very limited serial ports. So it has up to 4 serial ports, but it remains all the options I already showed you for LM83X. So here is a use case. Let's talk now about the real world use cases for out-of-band applications. So there is a mobile network operator. We just closed a deal with them, and they are now using our out-of-band devices. So these operators often manage thousands of remote sites, and maintaining them efficiently in a major challenge. When the main network link fails, in-band management becomes impossible. So meaning that the operation team can't even reach the equipment. The usual fallback, sending technician on site, which is costly, slow, and directly impact uptime and impacts that uptime. Our solution is to deploy an out-of-band management access console server at each remote site. This gives operators secure remote access from the network operation center, completely independent of the primary network connection. Through this channel, teams can reboot devices connected to this console server, update firmware, access logs, and reset interfaces, all remotely, without the need to send someone on site. And when combined with automated script triggered by alert, the response becomes nearly and very quick to a solution. So the results are very impressive. So the customer, what we have seen is that the mean time to repair drops by 70 to 90%. So field visits costs reduced by up to 60%, and the serviceability increased by several percent points. In short, it is our solution. It is scalable, it is secured, and can manage thousands of sites on the main network, and ensuring better uptime and avoid additional costs. So to take some keys to take away: select the right connectivity, Wi-Fi versus Ethernet for your use case. Configure and deploy with resilience in mind. Use out-of-band to ensure uptime and to reduce operational costs. Lantronix Modules xPico 200 and XPort EDGE are very simple to integrate, easy and simple to integrate. So that's from my side. Thank you. So if you have any question, just put it in the chat, or you can also talk about it.
In the meantime, while we are waiting for some questions, maybe in connection to the Ethernet modules, can you also tell us about some success stories, maybe connected to these? Are you aware of any in combination with some application?
Yes, sure. So Lantronix, when it comes to the export and XPort EDGE and also xPico 200 series, we have different customers worldwide using these modules. The most important things for all this application is that all devices are really stable in connectivity. They use this in harsh environment. For example, here in Germany, we are working with a company called GVK. They have developed electronic key for different car manufacturers, where they have integrated the xPico 200 series, which tells them how strong the wires in the vehicle has to be screwed. So all this information, each screw during the manufacturing the vehicles is already stored in their database. So the xPico 200 just read the information from the key or watch, and then send this information to their database. So in case, for example, a vehicle is shipped to a customer and the customer just complains about something, they have all the information in the database regarding each screw, how strong has been screwed, and so on. So this is really something that customer or every automaker like this product. So yeah. Another use case is with XPort EDGE. So XPort EDGE, as I said, is the latest Ethernet wired module, where a lot of customers, they just integrate our XPort EDGE due to the securities included in the TCP/IP stack. So they use just for serial to Ethernet conversation. So as these devices support different multiple socket, and all the socket can be secured using TLS 1.2 or TLS 1.3. So some other customers are using XPort EDGE also in medical environments. So they have devices in the hospitals, and they want to make these devices IP available. So what they do, just integrate the XPort EDGE, implement the security protocols on it, and then make their devices from serial to Ethernet IP ready.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. In the meantime, we received a question. I have shared it on the screen. The question is, do you prepare some new small Wi-Fi modules or upgrades?
Yes, Lantronix, as I said, currently is working on Wi-Fi 6. There is a module currently under development. It will be released soon. I think early next year we will have some samples. So if someone is interested on testing this new product, just send me an email and I will create a list for customers that are interested for this product, and I will ship to customers for testing. So this will have the same form factor as the xPico 200 series, but what features will be in addition to xPico 200 series, we don't really know currently. We have submitted different features, key features to the engineering team, so they are working on this one, and finally, I think early next year we will have a complete overview about the hardware and software features that will be included in the new Wi-Fi 6 module. We will try to keep this module compatible, pin compatible to the xPico 200. So but we will see. So by the end of this year, we will have all hardware and software features that will be included, and early next year we will have also the samples for customers ready.
Okay, perfect. This is a really useful information that these samples will be available, so we can forward it to our customers and offer it as a bonus. So this is really good. Thank you. We have a next question regarding defense industry. So the question is, do you know any application in defense industry? What is your approach on this type of industry or customers?
So I know that in the US team has already a case study with a customer in the US. I don't really know the customer name, but I know that they have already integrated our xPico XPort EDGE in their system, and currently they are using this for more than 2-3 years. So for more information about this use case, I will ask marketing team to share if we have a case study already completed, so I can share with you guys for more information. But I know that one use case we have in the US. In Germany and Europe, currently we don't have any use cases in this sector, in this industry.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. We will wait a little bit more to see if there are any new questions. Okay, if not, as I mentioned, yeah, we have a new one. So let me share it with you. And the question is, what is the real-time response latency of the modules like? Is there any interrupt signal indicating incoming receive data flow?
So when it comes to the Wi-Fi module, currently xPico 200, especially xPico 270, really has a very fast real-time response. So one customer that already submitted a request or a bug in the firmware was that sometimes during the handshake, the devices sometimes just miss the first handshake response. So currently engineering is working on this issue, and the new firmware will be released soon. So, but regarding the real-time response, our devices are very, very fast. So the roaming is very fast. We support also fast roaming on these devices, this protocol. So for anything that xPico will be used for roaming application, I think it is the best product in the market.
Okay, thank you very much.
I just wanted to highlight again that if there is any of your customers or attendees in this meeting looking for deep understanding about any technical session where we can go through the configuration, how to configure the devices live, to do some demos with xPico or XPort EDGE, what kind of settings, what kind of feature the device use. We can have another session with your customers and go deeper into the configuration and the best practice for their use case.
Perfect. So also, in case any of our sales guys have an open project, are you willing to join a call with this customer and help to answer some technical questions as well?
Yes, sure. So I can also do a customer visit if your sales guys wants me to be on customer side and help them on designing the product for our modules for their product. I will be very helpful to go there and discuss with customer and make sure that our products will be well designed, and also highlight what is necessary for the customer to know while they are designing any products with our modules.
Okay, perfect. This is, I think, a very welcomed information, and I think many sales guys will be happy with this. Okay, so I don't see any more questions. As I mentioned in the beginning, if any questions pop up, you are free to contact us directly on soselectronic.com, and we will get in touch with Fadil or any other experts from Lantronix to send you an adequate answer. So thank you all for joining today. Special thanks to you, Fadil, for the amazing presentation, which was really in-depth and helpful. And I'm pretty sure that it will help us in the future businesses. So thank you again, and I wish you all a nice and successful rest of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, Fadil. Bye.
Bye-bye.